Hello BookTube. A few days ago I mentioned that I was contemplating rearranging my library again. And over the last few days I have done it. I have rearranged my library once again, which is why I am in a different filming location than I normally am. I'm not entirely sure if I really like this location for filming videos because, of course, there's my bedroom door and the headlight over here. I don't think it really works, but let me know in the comments what you think. So anyway, what did I do? Let's get out my pictures to show you. Okay. So as you walk through this room here, so I'm going to start with my bedroom, the little manga room. So this is what it looks like when you first walk in. So back here, the wall of manga. So this is what it looks like head on. So in the double bookcase right here, my idea I think for that is to have my favorite series that have been completed. So starting from the left, I have Naruto, followed by Bleach, and currently Magi the Labyrinth of Magic. Now, that might change depending on the final 14 volumes of Bleach, which I still need to pick up, which was originally going to be my plan for rearranging my manga collection. On the other side of that bookcase is Fairy Tail, and then Eden Zero with the first 2 volumes of 100 Years Quest, which will be moved once the final 3 volumes of Eden Zero come in. And then following Eden Zero is Black Clover, My Hero Academia, and Demon Slayer, which I might rearrange a bit because My Hero Academia has 2 more volumes left, which are releasing this year, so they probably should go under Eden Zero. And then Black Clover coming after, because it's still in publication, even though it probably doesn't have many volumes left, but its release schedule is a bit wonky. I'm assuming at this point it's about a volume a year, so anyway. And then on the other side, on the other bookcase, is 7 Deadly Sins and 4 Nights of the Apocalypse, a few assorted series, and then Sakamoto Days, and then Twin Star Exorcists, and Dark Gathering, and then assorted series at the end. And then, so right here is the big move. I had a 5 shelf bookcase here, which I'll show you in a little bit. And I moved a smaller bookcase in its place, and this is where One Piece will be. And then this is this side of the room. Over here is my taller manga. And over here is the stacked on bookcase, currently where I'm filming at. That was initially pretty much empty except for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure at the very top. Currently it has Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicle, Yu Yu Hakusho, Fullmetal Alchemist, and Jujutsu Kaisen, which will, I'm pretty sure, completely fill up that top bookcase. And then below it is Dandadan, Demons of the Shadow Realm, Dolaban Hanako-kun, and Frieren Beyond Journey's End, with Exholic being the Transvice books. So that's pretty much this little manga room. And this is my science fiction and fantasy collection and a haul, which is a mess. It's a mess. I need to do something with this part. I think what I would like to do eventually is to get a second, either another metal bookcase to go on top or a smaller black bookcase to go on top to make it look kind of that they match, even if one would be particle board and the other is metal or whatever. And that would be where science fiction and fantasy would go. Moving on to the library. So this is what it looks like once you come in. So this bookcase was here. And so that will be the extension for my history collection. And so this is classics, canonical, modern, and contemporary fiction, poetry, and drama, which for the moment is okay. I would like to get a bookcase to come out this way. Even though it would probably be nicer to be able to have the books facing inwards so that it would be like books here and then books here rather than the back of a bookcase and the books on the other side. But that really wouldn't work with, I don't think I have the space allowances. And also worrying about the wobbliness of bookcases, because those two in particular are rather wobbly. So this is some of my history collection, and then this is the back of that bookcase, and then so this is along the window wall. So this bookcase here with the totes on top of it is currently not history, nonfiction, which I would like to have a bigger bookcase in that space eventually, and move that bookcase into here and have the one-piece bookcase put on top of it once needed, because how those shelves work, it really only works for manga. And then there's a little coffee table which has the rest of my science fiction and fantasy collection, which I'm not totally happy with that coffee table being there. Because I would like to have those two windows open, but we'll see how things work. So I would like to get at least 3 more bookcases at some point in the future, and I will report back if and when I get those new bookcases in. Hopefully they will be found and not me having to buy them or putting them together. And I can open up that window space again. Although I would like to have some kind of seating arrangement in that library room, but I don't know exactly what to do. Anyway, I will figure it out. So now, one thing that I realized as I was rearranging my manga collection is that I really probably could use with one less bookcase in here, because thinking about particularly the bookcase where my computer is currently on, it can comfortably hold slightly over 200 volumes of manga. Each shelf holds about 54 volumes. And so currently with the 3 shelves that are completely open, I can get another almost 150, well, over 154 volumes. It will probably be closer to 160 volumes. So that's one thing to be aware of. Also, I have another shelf over here that's empty, and then one of these over here is empty. So, I mean, I have enough space for probably almost 250 more volumes of manga. So I'm not really hurting for space. And as far as like the collecting side is going, I'm not totally sure if there are any series that I'm super into that is really calling me to haul in a very large way. But we shall see. Anyway, BookTube, that's all I have for right now. hopefully this video made some sense. And again, let me know what you think of the look of it, because this is a relatively new filming setup, and I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to stick with it. If I do weekly reads tomorrow, I will probably try to do it in the other room, using the not history, nonfiction bookcases top to film from, and see how that works out. But I might push weekly reads to Saturday so that I can be sure to have read the second book that I'm reading this week. Anyway, so until I see you next time, BookTube, thank you, have a great afternoon, and stay safe.